Today, let's delve into the concept of sin in Hinduism and debunk some common misconceptions surrounding it. Hinduism, one of the world's oldest religions, holds a rich and diverse spiritual heritage, with profound insights into the human condition and ethical living. Unfortunately, misconceptions about the concept of sin in Hinduism persist, often resulting from misunderstandings or limited knowledge. In today's video, we will explore the true essence of sin in Hinduism as explained in the Vedas, Upanishads, and other ancient scriptures, while addressing and clarifying some key misconceptions surrounding it. Misconception 1. Sin in Hinduism is the same as sin in Abrahamic religions. The concept of sin in Hinduism differs from that in Abrahamic religions like Christianity and Islam. In Abrahamic religions, sin is viewed as a violation of divine commandments and is often associated with moral transgressions. It is seen as an offense against a supreme being, leading to guilt and the need for redemption. In Hinduism, the term used is papa or adharma, which refers to actions that generate negative karma or cause harm to oneself and others. While some actions may be considered morally wrong, the focus in Hinduism is on the consequences of actions rather than a strict moral code. The emphasis is on understanding the interconnectedness of all beings, and the need to act in accordance with Dharma, righteousness, for personal and societal well-being. Misconception 2. Hinduism promotes a rigid moral code with specific sins and punishments. Hinduism places more emphasis on Dharma, which refers to one's duty and righteous behavior, rather than a fixed set of sins and punishments. While certain actions are considered undesirable due to their negative consequences, Hinduism does not provide an exhaustive list of sins with predetermined punishments. The understanding of what constitutes a sin may vary among different schools of Hindu philosophy and interpretations of the scriptures. The focus is on developing moral and ethical discernment and understanding the consequences of actions, rather than relying solely on a rigid moral code. Though in the Garuda Purana, there are sections that discuss the consequences of different actions, including sins, and describe various realms of existence and their associated punishments. These sections are often presented in a narrative or allegorical manner. It is essential to approach these texts with discernment and consider them within the larger framework of Hindu philosophy, which emphasizes personal accountability, self-realization, and the pursuit of Dharma. Misconception 3. Hinduism condemns all forms of pleasure and enjoyment as sinful. Hinduism recognizes the importance of pleasure and enjoyment in human life. It promotes the idea of balanced living, where one can derive pleasure without causing harm to oneself or others. It acknowledges that seeking temporary joys and experiences is a natural part of human existence, but excessive attachment or indulgence is discouraged as it can lead to negative consequences and hinder spiritual growth. Misconception 4. Sin in Hinduism leads to eternal damnation or punishment. Hinduism believes in the concept of karma and rebirth, where one's actions, including negative ones, have consequences in future lives. The focus is on the cycle of samsara, birth and death, and the aim to break free from it by attaining moksha, liberation. The consequences of negative actions are seen as leading to further suffering and hindering spiritual progress rather than eternal damnation. Misconception 5. Hinduism promotes caste-based sins and discrimination. While the caste system has existed in India, Hindu scriptures do not endorse discrimination or sins based on caste. The ancient scriptures, such as the Vedas and Upanishads, emphasize the intrinsic worth and divinity of all beings. The Bhagavad Gita, a significant Hindu scripture, states that a person's worth is determined by their qualities and actions, gunas and karma, rather than their birth or caste. Misconception 6. Sin in Hinduism can only be absolved through external rituals or sacrifices. Hinduism teaches that true liberation and freedom from negative karma come through self-realization and spiritual growth. While rituals and sacrifices may have symbolic value and can be helpful in focusing one's mind and cultivating devotion, they are not the sole means of absolving sin. The concept of atonement or purification of negative karma is more focused on inner transformation, rather than external rituals alone. Practices such as self-discipline, self-reflection, meditation, and selfless service, seva, are considered important for purifying the mind and cultivating positive karma. Misconception 7. Hinduism promotes fatalism and the belief that suffering is a result of past sins. While Hinduism acknowledges the law of karma, it does not promote fatalism or the belief that all suffering is solely a result of past sins. Hindu philosophy recognizes the complexity of human existence, including the influence of past actions, karma, present choices, and external factors on one's life circumstances. The emphasis has always been on personal responsibility, making conscious choices in alignment with Dharma, and working towards personal and societal well-being. Misconception 8. Hinduism promotes the idea of inherited or ancestral sin. Hinduism does not support the concept of inherited or ancestral sin. Each individual is responsible for their own actions and their consequences, while one's upbringing and environment may have an influence. Hinduism emphasizes personal accountability and the ability to make choices in accordance with Dharma. It does not suggest that one inherits the sins of their ancestors or carries the burden of collective guilt. Each person is responsible for their own spiritual progress and liberation. It views suffering as a part of the human experience, resulting from the consequences of actions. It emphasizes the opportunity for personal growth, self-realization, and the eventual attainment of moksha through spiritual practices, self-discipline, and adherence to Dharma. It's important to remember that Hinduism is a vast and diverse religion with various interpretations and practices. The explanations provided here aim to clarify common misconceptions about the concept of sin in Hinduism. Based on general principles found in the Vedas, Upanishads, and ancient scriptures, individual beliefs and practices within Hinduism may vary, and it is worth noting that different sects and schools of Hinduism may have varying interpretations of these texts, and individuals are encouraged to seek guidance from learned scholars and spiritual teachers to gain a comprehensive understanding of the teachings.